So before I start my long monologue on two movies that I want to review, I want to say a little bit of a disclaimer here. There are minor spoilers in this, so when I get to a certain plot point, I will make sure to remind you guys that I'm going to be saying minor spoilers, so that way you can skip ahead and make sure you don't hear it if you haven't seen the movie. And also, due to certain YouTube licensings, I might not have enough room for this entire video to fit into my YouTube license, so I might cut it up into two parts, depending. But if it's not, if I am under the requirement, or if I am able to do 15 minutes or more, then this is a complete disregard, so don't worry about this comment. With that being said, if you guys don't know, I am a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. I have all the Dragon Ball movies, the Dragon Ball seasons, the DBZ seasons, the DBZ movies, even GT, the two seasons they have, and the movie. I have majority of the games that are released on PS2, PS3. I have one DS game and one Game Boy game. But today we're not talking about the games or any of the other anime related. Today, we're talking about the two most recent feature-length films that were released for DBZ. And those were Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. Now, for those of you who have not seen these, you must see them if you're a big DBZ fan. And if you're not, even if you're just getting into anime, this one is a good way to start off. If you're just getting into anime and you want to know some good recommendations, I recommend Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Gods, or Dragon Ball Path to Power, which is another good introduction to the series. So, starting off with Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Gods, it starts off with a little bit of a flashback of the entirety of the Dragon Ball saga, starting with the Bulma meeting Goku and up to the fight with young Piccolo, or he registers himself in the martial art tournaments as Ma Junior. It then goes into Z, seeing the victory of him over Frieza, Vegeta, Majin Buu, Cell. And basically, our movie takes place between the last and the second to last episode of the series. This is before Pan is even born. And I'll explain who Pan is later on. So we go to this mysterious-looking planet after Supreme Kai and King Kai have a chat about he's awakening. Beerus the Destroyer is awakening. But while they're having that conversation, Goku happens to be on King Kai's planet because he likes to train there because of the intensified gravity. And Supreme Kai, or Kibito Kai, I believe, who's talking to King Kai, says they must not tell Goku that he is awakening because apparently Beerus, the God of Destruction, is really, really strong. And that'll make Goku challenge him, obviously. So after that little conversation, we then cut to this really weird-looking planet that's basically a upside-down triangle with a big tree sprouting out of the middle of it. And we go to this chamber, and there are a bunch of hourglasses in bubbles. One of them explodes, and it seems to be, apparently according to this other figure, they call him Whis. He's like an assistant to Beerus. One of these backup timers, like an alarm clock, explodes, and Beerus has to get out of bed. Now, our first introduction to Beerus is very goofy. He falls off these floating pieces of rubble, flips, does the whole cartoon gag where he pats his foot down and then falls instantly to the ground. Basically a gag opening. But later on in the movie, we see that he's really, really powerful, and we really shouldn't mess with him. But him and Whis have a discussion of whether or not Frieza listened to the task he gave him of destroying planet Vegeta. And yes, that's right. Beerus told Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta. That is a game changer all in itself. And Whis then tells him yes, but there has been a complication that Frieza was defeated by a warrior. And he was defeated by a Saiyan. And Beerus was confused because he thought all the Saiyans were gone. Well, Whis then tells him that obviously some of the Saiyans survived by being on different planets. And we see this little revamped animation of Super Saiyan Goku facing Frieza. And Beerus asks, aren't Saiyans usually black? Usually have black hair? And Whis explains Super Saiyan. And Beerus is like, Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan. Then he remembers what this dream, this premonition he had. He's going to face this person called a Super Saiyan God, and he looks exactly like Goku. So they have to go and actually visit the Saiyans to see if this is actually true. So while this is all going on, Bulma is having her birthday party on Earth in the Capsule Corp backyard, and everybody's there but Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta's busy training in his gravity room that Bulma built for him, and Goku is where I mentioned him before. He's on King Kai's planet. So they quickly stop there, talk to Goku, and Goku challenges Beerus, which King Kai and Supreme Kai were deathly afraid of, and Beerus actually accepts. Goku goes straight to Super Saiyan 3. He puts up a fight, but Beerus then lands 2 hits, and Goku's on the ground. He's basically in his base form, black hair, just a complete and utter wreck. He was defeated in 2 hits. Beerus and Whis then travel to Earth, and during that time, King Kai notifies Vegeta that they're coming, and Vegeta's like, how did this person beat Goku? He calls him Kakarot because that's his Saiyan birth name. How did he defeat him in 2 hits? Vegeta is always like behind Goku by a little bit, but no one's ever defeated Goku in 2 hits before, and that's shocking. So Vegeta's basically like all kind of very confused. He's very worried, and he hears his voice, and he's scrambling over the party trying to figure out where it is. He then flies up a little bit, looks towards the pool, and there sits Beerus. And once he sees Beerus, he realizes who he is. We see a flashback to him as a kid, and why he's so terrified, because he knows what he can do. So throughout the entire bit of the party, he tries to keep him happy, tries not to get him too angry. And there's one part that almost does get him pissed off, but it's not as big as the next part that actually does get him going off the rails. So Whis lets Beerus know about this fantastic Earth concoction called pudding, and they go to ask the one of the chefs where all the pudding went because it's gone off the dessert table, and they tell him that there's this big pink guy who took it all. Majin Buu took all the pudding cups, and he's just sitting there eating one pudding cup. Beerus and Whis approach him and ask for 2 pudding cups, and then Beerus says, if 2 is too much, maybe just 1 for myself. But Buu, as the gluttonous, fat person he is, he does not have any of it. He wants all the pudding to himself. Him and Beerus get into an argument. Buu then eats all the pudding cups, pudding cup and all, and he challenges Beerus. He basically says he's going to turn Beerus into candy because he made him angry. And this just throws Beerus off the rail. He just completely goes nuts. He basically almost not destroys. He really he just beats Majin Buu up. He beats everybody up that can fight at that party. Tien, Android 18, Goten, and Trunks fused. He just beats everybody over a pudding cup. Let that sink into you. Only in DBZ can you say that the villain of a movie gets angry because he didn't get a pudding cup. Yeah, it's weird. So, Bulma, because, it's her birthday party and she doesn't want anybody ruining it, goes up and just gives Beerus a nice, swift slap across the face. Everybody's just... Vegeta, basically, is just awestruck at this, and he can't believe that she did this. And Beerus, in return, backhands Bulma, and she goes flying across the ground. Vegeta then gets extremely angry and transforms into a Super Saiyan. And according to Master Roshi, he actually is stronger than Goku at that point. So to get Vegeta to get almost as strong as Goku, you gotta have the villain slap Bulma. Awesome. So Vegeta then attacks Beerus to no avail. Vegeta's almost on his deathbed. Beerus is going to destroy him. Goku then swoops in, tries to save the day, realizes he can't beat Beerus unless they have this Super Saiyan God. So they summon Shenron from the bingo tournament prize because Bulma had this huge bingo tournament set up for her birthday. One prize winner was going to get a castle, the other prize winner was going to get a diamond, and the first prize winner was going to get a wish from Shenron because they collected all 7 Dragon Balls. Excuse me. So Goku borrows the Dragon Balls, summons Shenron, and asks Shenron if they can summon the Super Saiyan God to them so Beerus can be happy. But according to Shenron, he cannot be summoned, he can only be made. So Shenron tells the tale that you need 6 Saiyans of pure heart to transfer their energy into one to make the Super Saiyan God. So, people of, Saiyan race, which is only 5 of them at the current moment. There's Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks. Now, 2 of them are only pure blood Saiyans, but 2 of them are half Saiyans, which, well, no, actually it'd be 3 of them, because Goten's still technically a half Saiyan too. So it makes sense that they're Goku and, well, they're still pure, but they're not the purest of Saiyans. So they try it. They try to transfer all their energy into Goku. It does work, but it doesn't turn him into a Super Saiyan God, just a more powered up Super Saiyan. And the big reveal here is that Videl is actually pregnant with Pan, Gohan and Videl's Saiyan baby. But she's not a half Saiyan, she's a quarter Saiyan because of the half Saiyan and the full Saiyan blood, obviously. So they bring Videl into the mix, and with the power of the unborn baby, Pan, that makes all 6 Saiyans transfer the energy into one. Then you get the Super Saiyan God, which obviously Goku turns into because it's in the trailers. He's on the back of the case for sake of better words. And then it's just a battle. Goku and Beerus just fight, but eventually at this one point, they actually just get to this underground like cavern, and he's actually kind of training Goku when he's in his God form, which is very, very interesting. But during that little battle, Goku loses the God form transformation and goes back to his normal base form with the black hair. Then they eventually fight their way up to space while Goku transforms into normal Super Saiyan. And Beerus then, while in space, fires this giant planet-busting attack that's going to destroy the Earth if Goku doesn't stop it. But to no avail, Goku almost dies doing it. Without the help of his friends sending him energy and the little kick from the Super Saiyan God energy, he wouldn't have made it. So he turns into Super Saiyan God one more time, absorbs the energy into him, and then it just expels outwards, and Goku is left kind of floating there in his normal base form. His gi is ripped, you just see the blue undervest, and Goku and Beerus have a chat. Goku basically gives up because he's not as strong as Beerus, but Beerus has something to tell him, that actually Goku is only the second strongest person he's actually fought, and Whis is actually the strongest person Beerus has fought. Now, Beerus also explains that there's more than one universe, and he's the god of this universe, Universe 6. There's 6 or 7. I'm getting my universes mixed up because of Dragon Ball Super. But this is Universe 7, and he's the god of destruction in this universe. Now, there's more than one universe. There are 12 universes total. And every universe has a god of destruction. When we get to Super, we learn more about that, but that's another story. So, eventually, Goku kind of almost passes out. Beerus then takes him down to Earth. And Beerus definitely keeps up his promise. He destroys the Earth. There's like a little stalactite standing up, kind of. He blasts like a little piece of it off, like this little like stalactite thing. He's like, oh, well, I guess all my power is taken away during the fight. And they go away, and Earth is saved for another day. As long as Bulma as long as Earth keeps giving them tasty food, Earth will not be destroyed. Which is kind of a funny plot point, actually, too. Now, I have to say, Battle of Gods is my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie. First, it was Fusion Reborn, which was 12, which was another phenomenal DBZ movie. But this takes the cake. This is really good, and I saw it in the limited release that they had across Regal Cinemas, and it was phenomenal. Now, I picked up the Blu-ray that has the theatrical and the extended release, which the extended release has a few extra scenes thrown in there. It's not needed, but it is actually pretty cool to see some of the extra scenes. Now, I would give this movie an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10, depending on your taste. If you're a hardcore DBZ fan, definitely a 9 out of 10. But if you're just the average anime watcher trying to find a new anime to watch, definitely give this a watch, an 8 out of 10. Now, the next movie to follow up from this next year would be Resurrection F. Now, as you can see on this case, that's a weird transformation for Goku. We'll get into that as I explain the movie. Now, due to the title of it, Resurrection F, Frieza is resurrected. Frieza is one of the biggest villains in Dragon Ball Z. Everybody who's a fan of that knows it, and it's quite interesting how they bring him back. Due to the technology of the Frieza Force has honestly been crumbling since he's died from Goku. He's actually died twice. He died from Goku, technically, and he died from Future Trunks, who sliced him into a bunch of pieces and then ki blasted him, and then he also killed King Cold. So, after all that, he gets revived, and he plans revenge for Goku. Basically, any Saiyan who killed him. And then he wants to go destroy Earth as well, so that way they can't use the Dragon Balls to revive him. And while this is, he says it takes, I believe, 6 months for him to attain a new form. Now, he's never trained a day in his life. But if he trains for 6 months, he says he can reach immensible power. I'm not going to say the power level because power levels are honestly crap, and everybody who's a DBZ fan knows that. Now, during all this, Goku and Vegeta are off on Beerus' planet training with Whis. And we see these new outfits that Goku and Vegeta have that are basically, it's like their normal outfits, but it's, like here with Vegeta, it's this normal Saiyan outfit, but there's a little Whis, like a little Whis insignia on it, if you can see that, like a little scribble. And it's basically the same as a Saiyan armor, but with Goku, it's the same orange gi, but there's no undervest. He has like gauntlet wristbands, and on his, I believe it's right chest. Yeah, on his right chest, he also has the Whis little symbol, which Whis gives to him during training because Whis is so fast for them, he's able to sign his name quickly and without them noticing, which is kind of funny. But Whis is basically trying to teach them how to move without thinking. And they're coming here every so often and bringing tasty food so that way they can keep training. Now, Beerus wakes up. He doesn't know about this. He's walking towards them. He sneezes and blasts a ki blast and destroys one of the planets around his planet. And Whis then tells a story. He did this one time and actually destroyed the sun. And Goku's wondering, well, if the sun's still there, are you guys powerful enough to create suns? And Whis is like, no, I just make a temporal do-over and stop before the incident happened. Which means Whis can control time. We'll get to that plot point later. We'll circle back to it. But then we go into Beerus wakes up. He asks why they're here, because obviously Goku explains they want training. And Beerus thinks that Goku's gunning for the God of Destruction role, which he's not. He just wants to get stronger. And Vegeta's there, obviously, because he can't make Goku leave him in the dust, so he's there to keep an eye on him. Obvious reasons. Goku wants to make sure he's strong. Vegeta wants to beat Goku. Same old, same old. And Beerus is wondering what kind of tasty food they brought him. And Whis says this time it's pizza. And Beerus doesn't know what pizza is, so he goes heats it up. Beerus then questions, wait, this time? So that means you've been here other times. And Goku's just kind of laughing to himself because, yeah, they've been here other times. And Beerus didn't know about it because, he's sleeping. So we then come back to Earth, and we're introduced to this new character named Jocko. He's a space patrolman, and he's friends with Bulma and her sister, Tights, I believe. If you don't know who Jocko is, don't worry, you're not the only one. I didn't know who he was until I actually read up on him. He's another Toriyama character who had his own little manga series that actually is a little bit before Dragon Ball, but it's kind of in the continuity. I don't know. Go read that. It's pretty interesting from what I've heard. Excuse me. So he goes to Capital Corp and wants to talk to Bulma. He tries to get to talk to Bulma, but the receptionist says no one's able to see Bulma without an appointment. Well, he needs to talk to Bulma, but eventually Dr. Breeze comes down the escalator. They then go outside and they go see his goldfish, which are just in a little pond he has. Bulma then walks out, talks to Jocko, and Jocko warns them of Frieza's back and he's coming to Earth. And I believe he says 2 hours. Now, there's a lot of time that passed from when Frieza stated that he's going to be training for 6 months to from when Jocko arrives. So Bulma has to go get inform Whis to let Goku and Vegeta come back. So she brings out this strawberry sundae to try and call Whis. Now, Jocko is still kind of skeptical of the whole God of Destruction still being a whole thing. So in 2 hours, 2 hours time, Frieza's supposed to come to Earth. So in that time, Bulma contacts Krillin, who now works as a police officer, and it gives way to one of the funniest scenes I think in the movie. She then contacts Gohan, and Piccolo, and Krillin then goes get Master Roshi, and then Tien is also contacted as well. Now there are some people missing in this. The Goten and Trunks aren't allowed because it's Frieza. They probably wouldn't stand a chance. And I believe the excuse they give because Majin Buu is sleeping. One of the other strongest people in Dragon Ball Z is sleeping. Oh boy. But yeah, Tien and Yamcha didn't show up either because, Yamcha's weak. And Chaozu didn't either. So Gohan, Tien, Master Roshi, Krillin, and Piccolo all show up to face Frieza, who has accumulated 1,000, I believe 1,000, or it's a few million, or it's 1,000,000 soldiers. I don't remember the number, but he's accumulated all the soldiers, and all 5 of them basically demolish all the soldiers, and they stand up from themselves, and they just kind of destroy them. But then Frieza basically kills them all. Good on you. All your Frieza Force soldiers are dead, except for one who's kinda looks like a Muppet. His name is Sorbet. Sorbet was in charge of the Frieza Force while Frieza was in his personal hell, which was he's like a little cocoon, and he's being tormented by teddy bears and stuffed animals and fairies singing songs. It's quite hilarious. So Sorbet has been in charge of the Frieza Force since Frieza's been dead. And he was doing a decent job of it, but it's still going downhill. That's why they revived Frieza. Now, Frieza basically destroys all of the soldiers that got defeated by the 5 Z warriors. And Frieza's about ready to battle. Everybody's standing in line. Frieza stands up out of his little transport vehicle, takes one punch to Gohan's gut. Gohan just falls. Frieza's that strong. He one-punched Gohan. But Gohan hasn't been training, so that can't probably explain it as well. So they then have to give him a Senzu Bean, and there's only one left. So obviously that has to be reserved for Goku or Vegeta. Then Bulma gets contacted by Whis. And Bulma then tells the guys to power up to max because Goku can't instant transmission unless he has a lock on. So they power up to max, and Goku and Vegeta appear. And, Frieza is about ready to start. Vegeta steps back, Goku and Frieza go at it. And it's just a nice brawl, until Vegeta steps in, just clocks Goku across the face after a few minutes, and they start fighting each other, which is kind of funny to see, because Goku's taking too much time toying with him, and Vegeta wants a turn. So, after that little quarrel, Goku and Vegeta come to terms, saying he'll get his turn then. All of them go down to the ground, and then we see the new transformation. The blue-haired Goku and the blue-haired Vegeta. In the movie, they don't give this a specific name, but it is called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. It basically happens when a Saiyan basically reaches the Super Saiyan God level, and he masters that, and then when he's in the Super Saiyan God form, he then taps into his Super Saiyan, which sprouts the blue hair. Now, in recent terms, now it is called Super Saiyan Blue because of obvious reasons. It's blue hair, which is much easier to say Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. And there's a funny little bit in the Super manga where Goku and Vegeta are going at it and they're talking so much and saying this over and over again, and Goku bites his tongue because he's saying it so much. So Whis comes out with the name with Super Saiyan Blue. It's that simple. And that's what I'm calling it. If you guys want to call it Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan or Saiyan Beyond God, go nuts. But he transforms into the Super Saiyan Blue form, and then after 6 months of training, Frieza turns into his new form, which he just calls Golden Frieza. It's basically just a gold-looking version of his final form, which is kind of cool, but he's also going toe-to-toe with Super Saiyan Blue Goku, which is quite worrying. So they're going at it for quite a while. Goku is almost he's looking all torn up, like a bunch of scratches and stuff. But both Goku and Vegeta notice this one fatal flaw, and Vegeta pipes in and is like, Kakarot, I'll take my turn now. And Goku's basically like, that's no fair. You only wanted his turn because you noticed his weakness too. And Frieza wants them to indulge him on what his weakness is. And apparently, as soon as Frieza obtained this new golden form, he rushed to Earth instantly to get his revenge. So he doesn't have full mastery of it, like Goku and Vegeta have over their new forms. Now, Frieza then starts all out attacking, and then Frieza does this one punch on Goku's face. Goku's face turns, he turns back at Frieza, gives him just a basic death glare. Frieza's knowed he's screwed up. Then Goku pulls out his arm. He basically does like a 1-inch punch on Frieza, and Frieza goes almost down to the ground. And Goku basically would have won, but Frieza was being a cheap fighter like he normally is. Sorbet has this little laser gun ring, and he shoots it at Goku, piercing him right in the chest. And Goku almost dies because of that, because he let his guard down. And that was a flaw that Whis pointed out earlier on when they were training with him. He's also too forgiving as well. So Goku's still getting almost beat up. He's getting kicked by Frieza relentlessly. Then Frieza notices Vegeta out of the corner of his eye, and he calls Vegeta down to finish off Goku. Vegeta wants the offer, well, kind of wants the offer, and Frieza offers him to be second in command, his basically right-hand man, to the Frieza Force, which is basically down to will be down to 3 people after that. But Vegeta declines because he wants to be the one to destroy Goku. So Krillin comes down, gives Goku the last sensu bean, excuse me, and Vegeta then transforms into the Super Saiyan Blue form as well. But regardless of any questions you have on how Vegeta attains that, the main focus is Vegeta then beats Frieza to almost a pulp. He transforms to his normal final form. Vegeta's about to give the finishing blow, but Frieza explodes the planet, killing everybody that's not in a little bubble Whis creates. So the planet's gone, the Dragon Balls are gone, but Frieza still lives because he can breathe in space. Now remember that little temporal displacement thing I mentioned with Whis earlier? Well, yeah, he can basically turn back time to basically a maximum of 3 minutes. And what he does, he turns back time to the point before Frieza destroys the Earth. Goku powers up again, Super Saiyan Blue, and blasts a Kamehameha at Frieza, and evidently kills him. So that's how the world is saved this time. And at the end, they're obviously, Vegeta's obviously mad at this because Goku stole his moment. But then they explain what happened, and Vegeta obviously understands. And at the end, Goku goes up to Vegeta, and like Vegeta's like, "Well, what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna thank you? Well, you're crazy." And Goku basically is like, "No, I don't want that. Remember where we said saying if we actually work together, we might be actually stronger. So what do you say we actually train together?" And Vegeta's like, "Why would I want to do that? I would never do that in a million years." And here's the funny thing: Goku actually agrees with Vegeta, saying that's kind of crazy. And Vegeta then spouts, "I think that's the first thing we ever agreed on, Kakarot." And Goku just laughs. And that's basically the end. And this was another very phenomenal Dragon Ball Z feature movie. I say it's like my second or third favorite, because Fusion Reborn is still one of the best Dragon Ball Z movies. And I picked this up on the very nice, sleek Blu-ray, which obviously comes with a few special things. It comes with some postcards and a little sleeve, and just comes with a Blu-ray. But if some of you actually with a keen eye notice this, there's a signature on here. And that is correct. That is the voice actor of Goku. That is Sean Schemmel. I saw him at Harrisburg Comic Con recently. It was amazing. He was the nicest guy, and I couldn't thank him anymore. If anybody has any way to get like this video out to Sean Schemmel, please do. Tell him thank you, and I always enjoy anything that he's involved with. Thank you so much for the signature, and keep doing what you do. Now, this isn't the same score as Battle of Gods, because there were some glaring issues. Not glaring, just minor issues for me. Like in Battle of Gods, they had the hand-drawn animation blending into like full CG action. This had that too, but there was more heavily relying on CG, and that was kind of off-putting sometimes. Plus, it's kind of a little bit drawn out, but it was still a good movie. Still, 8.5 to 8. 8.5 for the the diehard Dragon Ball Z fans, and 8 for your average anime watcher who wants something new. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that entirely jumbled mess I call a review. Currently looking at the time, I'm going for 30 minutes and 15 seconds. So thank you guys for sitting with me during this. I know the camera has been shaky. I'm sitting on my bed right now and my computer is just basically a complete flop everywhere. But thank you guys for sticking by. If you guys, you know what? I want to run a little poll. What is your favorite Dragon Ball Z movie if you've seen any? And if you've not, what's your favorite anime or anime movie? Leave it in the comments below. But until next time, guys, I will see you in the next review, the next vlog, or whatever else video I ever post. Keep sharing the links, and take care.